Hello, welcome back to another edition of The Lead. I'm your host, Cody Johnson, and today we're going to be taking a look at what Jalen Pitre brings to the Houston Texans. Let's get into it. So a lot of y'all aren't going to like the content in this video because it doesn't align with how the media has portrayed Jalen Pitre, and they portrayed him as a safety. And that's just not what he did in college. At least a deep safety, right? He's not a true deep safety. As you can see at the bottom of the screen here, he's played 16 deep snaps over his career. Guy that thrives closer to the line of scrimmage, right? As you can see, he played the star linebacker position in Dave Aranda's defense, which was a linebacker slot cornerback hybrid. A guy that played nearly 1,000 snaps at slot over the past 3 years. Played over 200 in the box, and then around 315 in the D-line spot, which is on the line of scrimmage. Now, that's nearly 20 times the amount of snaps on the line of scrimmage than he played deep, right? So, again, this isn't a knock on Jalen Pitre. It's just I want to emphasize what he is as a player, and that's a guy that thrives close to the line of scrimmage. I think that's how Lovey and co plan to use him as well. He even mentioned that he likes to be close to the line of scrimmage himself in an interview with 6'10 last week. So, guy that once you get him close to the line of scrimmage, he's just going to start making plays and everyone's going to fall in love with him, right? So, some people are going to come back with just because he didn't do it in college doesn't mean he can't. And my main pushback on that is I believe Dave Aranda is one of the top defensive minds in college football. A guy that adjusts to his players. As you saw with LSU in the 2019 season, he ran a lot of cover one man, because he had Derek Stingley, Grant Delpit, and Christian Fulton out there, and he was able to do that with those guys. When he came over to Baylor, he ran a lot of cover two zone with two high shells. And I feel like if he felt Jalen Pitre was the best person to play on the deep half of the field, then he would have done it. And to add on to that, the strong safety that started the last 2 years, Christian Morgan, now that Pitre is gone for the spring, they have moved Christian Morgan down to compete for the star position, not even to take it over, to compete. So they replaced him on the back end for the 2022 season, right? So again, for a guy that if he felt that he was the best person to play in the back half of the field, which Dave Aranda ran a lot of cover two zones last year, then I felt he would have done that, right? He would have done it more than 16 snaps at least. So, and a guy that, as a Baylor fan, I've watched him for 5 years, I have skepticism on his deep speed to cover half the field. So let's get into the film here, and we're going to see why he thrives so well closer to the line of scrimmage. So as you're going to see here, he's playing off-ball linebacker in the right-hand corner of your screen. And this is just going to show his instincts and physicality. So he's actually tasked with this gap right here, the C gap. And it's going to be clogged up, so he's going to come over to the A gap, showing his instincts, of course, come over and fill the A gap and get a tackle for loss here on the running back. Just jumps right in the hole and gets a tackle for loss. Just great instincts, physicality. He had almost 30 tackles for loss the last 2 seasons. And you're going to see why on this film. Just, again, a guy that thrives closer to the line of scrimmage and a plus run defender, especially for his size. So this play here, he's right here. He actually started this play off the screen. And this is going to show some of his athleticism. Now, I just mentioned I'm skeptical of his deep speed. That's a different story compared to his athleticism close to the line of scrimmage. You're going to see him run down this running back to the far side of the field right here. Just great athleticism. I don't even know how many yards he ran right there, but he ran across field to make this another tackle for loss. Just great stuff here from Pitre, and again, I got why he thrives closer to the line of scrimmage. So this play here, you're going to see him on the 50-yard line right here matched up against the tight end. At Baylor, he was asked to set the edge a lot. Or at least a good amount. As we saw, he played 315 snaps on the line of scrimmage the last 2 years. And this tight end is 6'5", 350 pounds. He's got at least 50 pounds on Jalen Pitre, and he's going to set the edge here. This blocker's not going to chip for whatever reason, and this running back is going to keep it outside of and Jalen Pitre holds his own, doesn't allow the tight end to wall him off, and is going to make the tackle for loss right here. That stuff at 6 foot, 190 pounds, 195 pounds, whatever it might have been, you really shouldn't be able to do. It shows he plays bigger than his size. Again with the physicality and instinct. So a guy that, I think he could do some some Sam linebacker for the Texans, because he's going to be able to match up against tight ends and set the edge against tight ends like that, like he just did in this play. So also we're going to get into, he's a great blitzer. He's going to be right here, and he's going to shoot. I believe it's the A gap. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but he's going to shoot the A gap and tackle Breece Hall for a loss. Fantastic blitzer. Lovey's going to have to dial up the blitz more this season. From 19% last year, which ranked 30th in the league, he's going to have to put it up in a 25-ish range, 25% range, with now adding Pitre and Harris, because those guys are both great blitzers. You're going to see here at the top of your screen, he's on the line of scrimmage, and he's going to run right around this H-back and get the sack here. Just runs right around him. And then, again, we're going to see his instincts here, because this is a flea flicker. He could have stopped because he thought the running back had the ball and was taking that up the gut. But notices the play and gets the sack here. Keeps playing. So I want to emphasize that he's a guy with great instincts and will play till the whistle's blown. So another blitz here. He's lined up in the slot, and he's going to take off here. Bijan Robinson's going to come over and try to block, and he's going to run right through Bijan and get the strip sack. Just, again, showing his physicality. Runs right through him, strip sack. Just great stuff. Great blitzer again. You're going to have to get him close to the line of scrimmage and allow him to blitz. It's going to be the best use of his skill set. So at Baylor in coverage, he was tasked to do a lot of the seam, curl, flat coverage. So to start off passing plays, he's going to wall off the seam, as you're going to see in this play. And then if there's no seam route, he's going to go to the curl and then trigger on the flat. But on this play here, he's lined up here in the slot, and he's going to wall off this this slot receiver in the seam. And he knows he has coverage over the top. So he's playing in an underneath technique, as you can see right here. Because he knows he has a safety over the top, right? And he's just going to show his great length and break up this pass. Did it consistently. They asked him to do it, so he was good at it. But this is where I think he's elite, is in the curl to flat coverage. He's going to trigger on the curl here, and you're going to see him take it back for 6. Now, I could have pulled up 10 plays of him making a play in the curl, and it wouldn't have been enough. So I only went with 2 in this film session, but again, just great trigger on the flat, gets the pick 6. This is why I think he will play linebacker in obvious passing situations for the Houston Texans, because especially in the Tampa 2 base, where the linebackers are asked to cover that curl to flat section, and that's what he is elite at. Can't emphasize enough, elite in the curl to flat coverage of the aspect of coverage. Here's another one in the slot. Right here, he's going to sit on this curl. There's going to be some pressure, which causes the errant pass, but still, again, just right in the hip pocket, and he's gonna make a play on the ball. Pick 6. Nobody can touch him. So here's 2 plays he's gonna do. Curl to flat, like I mentioned. So he's gonna sit on the curl and then trigger on the flat when the throw is made. You can see here the running back comes out to the flat. He's sitting on the curl and just triggers to it as soon as the ball's thrown. Triggering just so fast. There's no gain on the play. Just again, I can't emphasize it enough. Elite in the curl to flat aspect of coverage. And here's the play. This wide receiver on the far end over here is going to come on the drag route. And same thing. Pitre sitting in the flat, or in the curl, and then triggers on it and gets a big hit here. So he was also tasked to do some man stuff. I think this is something, if you change your system to where you run a lot of box safety with your strong safety, or your strong safety in the box, this is stuff he can do. He's going to be man-to-man against this tight end here, and he's going to sit in the hip pocket and carry him across the field. I'm not sure how much I'd ask him to wall off tight ends, But in this Iowa State game where he was asked to do it quite a bit, he did a pretty good job. This isn't Charlie Kolar, unfortunately. That's him right here. But still, this dude is much bigger than Pitre and just runs with him. Just great stuff. And the Iowa State game, he was asked to do a lot of man coverage. He's going to be in man right here with the motioner. He's going to run across field. And guy had no chance. This was, I believe, was a tackle for loss, at least no gain. Other than my concerns for his lack of deep speed to cover the deep half of the field, I believe, the other thing I might have issue with it, even if you can call it an issue like that, is he can be over aggressive at times. Right. So here he's going to be tasked with the quarterback on the option. You can tell he's tasked with the quarterback because Bernard, that middle linebacker here, is going to crash line of scrimmage. If he would have been tasked with the quarterback, he would have just sat right here and made sure that this quarterback didn't sneak out. So I know Aranda allowed Baylor, or these two guys specifically, to have a lot of freedom if they saw something during the play. And I don't know if he decided he was going to go from the get-go and just didn't tell Bernard to take over his man, or if he got faked out on the play. But you're going to see him trigger on the running back right here. And then there was nobody to stop this quarterback from taking it to the house. So, again, that's a knock, if you can really call it that. I'll take the over-aggressiveness. It's going to make you more plays than it's going to hurt you like this, right? So, for me, again, Pitre, great. He's going to be a great player as long as you get him close to the line of scrimmage. I don't really care how you do it, as a linebacker or the slot corner, or as a box safety. I have a hard time believing Lovie Smith, a guy that's played Tampa 2, or a lot of Tampa 2 over 20 years, is going to change his stripes this year. So, the last thing I want to add for Jalen Pitre is his level of commitment is absolutely insane. The only guy to stay committed, that committed during the Bryles era and stayed committed. Right? So, through the scandal, stayed committed because Baylor gave him a chance. And then came in with Rule, played during a one-win season, and then he even mentioned that he wasn't ready to play. He got another guy, took his spot, an older guy that switched over from the offense side of the ball, took his spot. So he sat for 2 seasons. So played through a one-win season, sat for 2 seasons, and then Aranda came in and he played through a 2-win season. He could have transferred at any time. He could have decommitted before even coming to Baylor. But he decided to stay, decided to work through it all, and then got himself a Big 12 championship and got himself a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. It's an absolutely insane story, considering the scandal that went on at Baylor. His commitment level is insane, especially now in college football, where you're not going to see that nearly as much. With the transfer portal, with NIL, all that stuff, it's absolutely great to see. That's something I'm not concerned about with him, as I might be some other players. But that's going to be all for today. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. I'll be getting the John Mechie video out soon. Y'all stay tuned for that, and have a good one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.